Yo, what the fuck is good?
Pleasure to be here, brother.
Straight up. 608 Trace, 608Potcast. Speaking of pot, give me some pot. Yes, sir. I'm here with the incredibly talented, amazing human being, artist,
Thank you, brother.
freaking producer, fucking just like overall creative individual, whom I deeply, deeply admire and respect. And for real, bro, like, you know, as a fellow producer, artist, musician, just watching the journey and how authentic and genuine, you know, some people do like the, you know, they do this and they do this, but yours has just been like a very slow, gradual come up.
Walk up a mountain.
No, for real.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see, bro, because it's, you're not skipping any steps. You're seeing all the little beautiful things.
Yep.
You know, I can tell you're a very spiritual person.
Yep.
And that's fucking awesome.
Yep.
You know, it's all about positive vibrations.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's the goal, is to end up there. But, you know, me and my girl talk about this concept all the time, that like real spirituality entails all of it. The negative and the, you know, the human experience is this,
the yin and the yang,
extremely balanced thing. Yeah.
Yep. Because even like the worst things that happen to us, you know, end up sometimes being the absolute best things.
Yeah, I talked to a friend about that yesterday. He said that he viewed the purpose of life as like achieving happiness. And I asked him, he had a great response to the question, but I asked him, how do you feel about that if the most transformative parts of our life are the most painful ones? And he had a great response to it, which was just that those things are meant to teach us, to ultimately like lead us to more peace and happiness, which I thought was insightful. But
yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm one of 4 boys, well actually 5 boys. And that right there, Trent MF Thayer, is my brother. Well, actually, he's technically my cousin. My older brother, we share an older brother.
yeah,
And he's hanging up right there. Rest in peace.
I was wondering who that was.
My brother Ty and my younger brother Taylor both died from drug addictions within the last 16 months. He is also a recovering drug addict as well, who I've been counseling and you know,
Stay
just
on the path, brother.
You know, but the thing is, right, is like you said, like our brother dying was like the worst thing that's ever happened to us ever, and he found him. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is like if that would have never happened, like me and him would have never like came together and secured our bond. And like, to be honest, like I've been waiting a long time to have my brothers like on this path with me, because I'm making moves, bro, and I'm doing music, and we're actively doing what we need to do to achieve our dreams and shit. So to have my brothers be a part of that, or my brother be a part of that now, you know, I was trying to get them to do that, but you know, they're all using dope and shit. And
pain is like the ultimate catalyst, you know.
But it truly did.
Also, to you, I would say that from my experience, everybody that struggles with addiction and things like that have the most capacity to be powerful beings. You know, it's just that the energy is channeled in the wrong direction at the time, which we all go through. You know, I had my own addictions for a really long time.
Yep.
And but I do find that people that struggle with that the most have the most capacity for change, have the most capacity to bring more light to the world. And I mean, it's just, you just channel that addictive personality to the right things, and you're a fucking unstoppable being.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you just channel all your energy on the new, you know? I don't really spend too much. I did that for a long time when I was trying to overcome like addictions to like sex and drugs and things like that, where I was so focused on the past and why it was this way, and judging myself from the past, and that made it really hard to let go of. And what made it so effortless to let go of was just focusing on the new version of me.
Right.
So
transformation, man. It's the most beautiful thing.
Yep. This is about to be dope. This is gonna be dope.
Yeah.
This is gonna be really dope.
Yeah, and you know,
I ain't smoking.
Okay,
right now. I'll hit the vape though, cause I love the art of smoking.
Go crazy.
I'm on this like spiritual path, and people like see I hit a vape, and they're like, "Dude, you vape, blah 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 blah." But
well, I mean, we're all using chemicals to mix up our state of being. You know?
We all have our things. I picture myself as like a wizard that smokes cigarettes and writes poetry. You know, it's like I'll let go of this at some point.
It's funny because a good friend of mine, astronaut Adam, he's like the lead singer of a band, and they have a festival coming up that we're playing in Wisconsin. He is like probably one of the greatest humans I know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like he still smokes cigarettes and shit. And you know, you can just tell people are always judging him, and I always give him shit because I'm like, oh yeah.
Real spirituality is so like much more dual than people think. You know, outside, you know, a lot of times we try to like pinpoint the one thing that we feel like superior over with somebody, but it's like it's not really how the human
and
experience works.
it's like it's like subconsciously everyone wants to be better than the next. Like the people that own houses are better than the people that don't. The people that went to college are better than. It's like
homies will like judge me for this, but then eat their body weight in fucking grease. So I'm like, it's all cool. Who gives a fuck? We all have our own things, you know. Buddha was fat in some dialects, so I mean,
motherfuckers all about to go to the same grave too, bro. Like, feed your spirit, goddamn it. Exactly. Like, do what makes you happy. Yeah, shit. That's all that matters to me. Oh yeah, man, life is good, ain't it, bro?
It is, man. I'm probably at the most peaceful place I've ever been right now. It's beautiful.
Yeah, you can't put a price on inner peace.
Yeah, it's like a rough journey to get to.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yep.
I turned 30 in August, and I just been kind of like basking at how like for a long time in my life I thought like 30 was the end of my career or something like that, and it's like, dude, I'm such a child. I like told my girl the other day, I was like, I feel like a newbie in this life, you know. It's like I spent the last 20 years trying to like overcome just depression, anxiety, things like that. I'm 29. I turned 30 August 28th. Yeah.
Word. Right now.
That was the year awesome. Christ began his ministry, so it seems fitting.
Nice.
I feel like the journey's just begun. I mean, you know, especially with the way science is moving now, we could live to be 500 years old. Who knows?
Bro, you know that we've downloaded consciousness onto a hard drive? Like you can.
That's fucking sick.
And, you know, Neuralink and
I did not know that. That's
sick we have literally done it.
That's sick. I would so become a robot, or like put my consciousness in a robot body. I would definitely do that.
Yeah, I mean, we already kind of are cyborgs because we interface with a phone that it's a robot.
It seems like kind of against nature to go against the evolution of technology on some level too, you know, like it's part of
nature because we are nature.
Yeah, it's part of this human evolution. It's like we're meant to become more complex creatures, you know.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it, right? Like, so I was thinking about dimensions the other day, like the fourth dimension people say is like time, right? Like, because we live in the third dimension, but then time and the way that time tripifies life.
It's so crazy you just brought this up. Me and my girl talked about this last night, and we were talking about if it's even possible in this realm of existence to like access these other dimensions, or if it's part of the human experience that we are limited to it, you know.
I mean, think about people that experience like sleep paralysis or like lucid dreaming.
Yep.
You know, my daughter's older sister, she experiences both, and she was like, came to me the other day, and she was like, you know, what is this? Like, this is
sleep paralysis is where you're stuck in a sleep state and you can't wake yourself up. I experienced that for the very first time right before tour.
Was it scary?
It was terrifying, and my girl painted it to me in a really interesting way, which was that when you are just ascending in awareness and you're walking more in light with God, how you're more prone to attacks from, you know, other forces that don't want you there.
Totally.
And it was like I was in this really tired state. I just had time to get like 2 hours of sleep, and I tried to fall asleep for I fell asleep for like 15 minutes, energy break. And I fell asleep, and I had a dream that took place right where I was at, which was like in the room. And it was full of like trickster energy, which is like what, you know, demons or the devil, like that's essentially what that is like trickster energy. Mm-hmm. And so I was experiencing all these things of like thinking I was laying next to my girl, and then it turned over and it was a demon, and I got grabbed by these things, all these things happening in this dream. And I knew I was asleep and I couldn't wake up. And it was a really terrifying experience. It felt like it lasted for a couple hours, and it was really only like 15 minutes. I called her back when I woke up, and I was like, how long was I asleep? She was like, that was 15 minutes ago. And I was like, I was glad she was there to kind of like guide me through it, because energy break.
Gotham City.
It's a beautiful noise. But she just explained to me that, you know, when you're walking in light with God, that you're going to be more prone to spiritual attacks and stuff, and that's kind of what that was.
I think that makes sense from a scientific perspective, because if you stand on the ground, the ground is pushing back on your feet with the same exact force that you're pushing down onto it. So it's like the rate at which you're trying to elevate, gravity's trying to like bring you down. You know
Essentially, like awakening is all about preparing ourselves for more attacks.
Bro, have you ever heard or read the book Outwitting the Devil?
Oh yeah, I started it. I haven't finished it. Yeah, C.S. Lewis. My favorite book is by C.S. Lewis called The Screw Tape Letters.
Well,
you
that's
ever
not
read
by
that?
C.S. Lewis. It's Napoleon Hill.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
I was
gonna
say, you know who Napoleon is?
Yeah, Think and Grow Rich. Yeah.
So do you know his story? Like how? Like
a little bit.
He basically spent his whole life studying the most successful people on the planet, but then he also had to live with and study the most impoverished people to fully understand the thought habits and patterns.
Yeah.
So that's what he did. 20 years of his life, the richest people in the world, Henry Ford,
that
Andrew
book's so
Carnegie,
powerful.
But then what happened was, so he wrote another book called Outwitting the Devil, and he chose not to have it published during his lifetime. And then his wife inherited it, and then she chose not to have it published during her lifetime.
So published after she died.
So then it got published. It was from like the 1930s. And then it got published, and bro, it breaks down. I gotta finish
it. It's sitting on my bookshelf,
Because it talks about the whole, and it's an interesting perspective, right? Because it's the whole book is
a conversation with the devil.
Is an interview with the devil, right?
Yeah.
And the only rule is the devil has to tell the truth. So he asks him questions, and then the devil's just telling him, oh yeah, like this is how I infiltrate humans' minds. This is how I, this is how I run the government and the school systems.
So my favorite book of mine is The Screw Tape Letters by C.S. Lewis, and it's a series of letters written from a demon in hell, and he's writing his nephew, who's another demon, who's assigned to tempt a human. So he's writing him on the art of tempting a human, and it just teaches you about how your brain works and how it's just fool. What's funny is that you say that in Outwitting a Devil, the only rule is that the devil has to tell the truth, because the opening chapter of Screw Tape Letters says that it's important to remember that the devil is a liar.
Right.
And that everything he says can't always be taken at face value, because he's a trickster.
It's a trip.
Yeah. That book is so interesting because
What's it called again?
It's called The Screw Tape Letters. I'll give it to you. It's just really interesting because it just talks about how, what God wants of humans is to like focus on our action, having right action, and how the tricks of the devil and demons is just fill our head up with jargon. Literally. So instead of thinking of a concept as true or noble or something like that, think of it as interesting or, incorrect. I don't know. It's just like, instead of having him in church focus on the actions and the ritual of church and honoring God, have him notice the person in the pew next to him who he thinks is fat or he hates the way their shoes sound and shit like that. So it's really powerful.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Definitely got to read that.
Yeah, it's a great read.
Yeah. Sick.
Yeah, this journey is awesome.
Yeah. And that's the thing I love about being an artist is like the lifestyle of connecting with other humans. Like
the best part.
It's like networking times 1,000, because like typically if you're an artist and you have good music and you're doing shows and you're out and about, like people want to talk to you, people want to be around you, they want to know about you. And to me, like my biggest song, I put out a song called You a Legend. And I was the first
ever. You played it in the RV. I love that, right?
Yeah, on the W, like on Camp Randall and all that shit. And the song isn't called Legend. It's called You a Legend, because it's about you. It's about, and that's
like a mantra. I heard it.
That's kind of my whole mission and message, is to get people to realize how cool their life is.
Yeah.
And like, bro, like how you need to tap into you and like all the wondrous things about you, because you have a unique fucking thing. Like if people knew. I know how I feel like I'm a cool person, bro, and not in an ego way. I'm just very content and happy with who I am.
Being a human is a cool experience, and a lot of times people idolize people who have like succeeded at a certain level, and they almost like give their power away in a sense of like honoring that person. What's crazy, a part of the Screw Tape Letters, he says that, the goal of what God wants of humans is to delight in others' successes, but also value their own success in the same way. Celebrate themselves in the same way that they celebrate their favorite artists. Exactly. That's so important, because all of us everybody has a unique, powerful journey,
It's like me and all my guys, like literally, like that's my brother. He lives with me and shit. The first thing I come downstairs, he's like, "What's up, you sexy motherfucker?" And like we literally just throw positivity around all day long, bro. Around so everyone. Important. You know what I mean? It's crazy, and it works, bro. Everyone around you like, bro. If we do this, we're going to everybody, spreading positive vibrations, giving compliments and giving props and daps and connecting, bro. Like, we are collectively raising consciousness.
Raising the collective vibration of everybody.
Straight up.
Yeah. Because there really is so much to honor. And honestly, like, the best things in life and the most profound things about people are all free. You know, they don't have to do with accolades, accomplishments, what you've done, nothing like that. You know, it's all about, they're all things that we have infinite access to.
Love and integrity. And
honor and kindness and
creativity and honesty. There's so much things to appreciate that are of real value. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all that outward success stuff is cool in its own regard, but it's not really that important.
And, you know, bro, this is honestly one of the biggest reasons I really, like, bro, like, you're probably in my top 5, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Honored.
And you know, and I'm your age. I just turned 30 and shit. So, you know, I grew up with all the great shit and whatever. But man, I just love how you're making the spiritual shit. You're making the inner peace, happiness, the inner world. You're making that look like the cool thing to do.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do in light of, you know, just helping people wake up to their greatness, bro.
Yeah, I've really woken up to that being my mission as an artist. Because for a long time, you know, just like anybody, your journey as an artist is like trying to find your voice, trying to find what's unique about you, trying to find where you're different. And I really like locked in and decided on the mission of like the next 10 years. My goal is to just wake up the next generation of artists to like just what is really valuable in this life. Because, you know, the 10 years that like my last decade of pursuing artistry was guided by like the wrong metrics. I feel like, you know, like just the people I was looking up to were flexing the wrong shit.
The music affects consciousness, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's so powerful.
And like, I got some homies that do music with me and shit, and like some of them, you know, some of them are more focused on music, some of them are more focused on money. I feel like I always been the one more focused on music. Because, like, you know, I could have $1 million, bro. But if I'm moving hearts and minds of millions of people.
Did you just read my post today? My post today was, do you want fame or impact? And it was like, you can have both. It's not saying they're mutually exclusive, but as an artist, it's important to make the distinction of what it is you're after.
Right.
And for me, I said I'd rather impact 100 people's lives than be the background noise to 1 million people.
Exactly.
Because you could have, I know lots of famous artists that don't move, you know, me or most people in the same way. And I even put in my caption that, like, all the artists that had the most impact to me in my life were not that well known. Or they were, like, had some following, but, like, my favorite bands, I have a bigger following than them now.
Right.
And so it's like, but they changed my life forever, you know, more than the top shit on the radio right now.
Yep.
So I think I just want to help, like, over the next decade, like, help artists align their vision of, like, what's important. Because you can have a career as an artist and make a living, but if you're not judging your success by the right metrics, you'll be really unhappy. Because I've had the outward success when I was judging the wrong metrics and I was fucking miserable. I was suicidal. So it's like, it was horrible. Where it's like, I've had less success at times and had the right measure of metrics and been way happier. And right now I have like a great balance of both. Like, I have the most outward success I've ever had, but I think truly it's because I have the right inward focus.
I feel like it all spirals out from the inside. You know, it's just like a flower that unfolds into your outer world. The more you're right in here and in here.
Yeah, so true.
You know, and speaking of metrics, the fuck is I gonna say? Fuck, the weed just hit my brain. No, but it's like, goddamn, measuring
your success with the right metrics.
Yeah, it'll come back to
I'll
me.
expand on the idea. I think most people measure success with money, with followers, with how much attention that they have. And, like, none of those things bring you internal value or, you know, internal fulfillment.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, my grandfather, he used to always say, keep it simple, stupid. Like, so many times we're, like, out looking for all these answers outwardly. We're looking for these answers. We're looking for these. And really, the answers are so simple. It's like, go to bed.
Go to bed at a good time.
Fucking drink water.
Take care of your body. Create art that's authentic to you. Be proud of what you do.
Like,
enjoy the process.
Yeah.
Give people value.
Exercise.
Be kind.
Get movement and stretch and breathe. And,
all that shit is free. You could be a broke. You could be a broke artist, but create art that really impacts your spirit. Be kind to everybody you meet. Value the moment, be present, and be way happier than most people.
Yeah.
So I just want to push that because I don't think I think that's like why I'm driven too for so much outward success. Like, you know, over the next year you'll see me get the Lambo truck and the iced out Cartier and all that shit, and it's like cuz internally I'm not motivated by it, but it's more of like a bat signal of like, you know, people are going to listen to some people. The people I'm meant to speak to are going to listen to me more if I'm tattooed like this. Yeah. They're going to listen to me more if I have the Lambo truck and all these things. And I'm going to guide them to the exact right place. Right. Whereas like most people that have the Lambo truck are just going to be like, yeah, sell bricks.
That's what I'm saying.
And ruin your life, you know? Yeah.
And like, yeah, we're going to talk about those things because we come from it, you know. But at the end of it, the overtone has to be like, look, bro, like you got to make decisions and you got to make wise ones. You know what I mean? You
can't talk about those things and not, you can't talk about those things and not paint the full reality of it. Yeah. You know, totally. I strive to do that in my music. And I tell people all the time, it's not like you can't make songs about drug dealing or something like that. Right. But overall, what's the essence of who you are and what you deliver? Because no matter what kind of songs and moods I touch, you know, I touch on all kinds of moods of my past where I was fucking groupies and selling weed and selling drugs and fighting and all these things. But, you know, anybody that knows me in real life, knows me on the internet, knows my overall essence as an artist. It's so much deeper than that, you know. And I don't really push those things as an end-all, be-all in any way, you know. And honestly, the more I evolve, the more I kind of just stray away from them in general. Like, I painted those pictures a lot, so I have more pictures to paint now, you know.
So what exactly are you doing right now? Like, what are you working on? What are you doing?
I got always got like 5 albums in the works at all times. Sick. At least, like, you know, there's always 5 on the back.
I went on Spotify the other day. I think you got 14 albums on Spotify.
Yeah, and in my lifetime, I got 22. There's just 14 on streaming.
I be trying to tell motherfuckers, bro, like.
People think it's gonna be a quick thing. It's like, dude, it might not be.
Your catalog is deep, bro. Yeah. Like, and it's.
People gotta remember, bro. You can't create with like, oh, if I make it in this time period, I'll do it, because you know, Van Gogh painted his whole life and wasn't acknowledged at all really while he was alive, and now he's one of the most talked about artists of history. So like, it's totally on God's will and God's time of like how you're recognized. So you just have to show God that like, I'm gonna dedicate my life to this no matter what, and I've done that. Like, I'll make albums till I'm unable to have a voice.
And I love how you put out way more albums than just like singles. Like, you're just an album out. Cause me, I'm into the storytelling. I'm trying to really, I'm into the deep shit. You know, I want to hear about your life and your struggles and what you know what I'm saying?
I got a lot to say. I'm like a manic person, you know. See, I admire artists that just put out small bodies of work or singles and shit. It's cool to me that there are artists out there that have this like really condensed palette and they still succeed. For me, that's just never been my story. Like, I have so much to say. I've always had so much to say. I have so much to put out. I'm not more drawn to like one thing than others. That's why I got 5 albums in the works. Like, I'm not so set on this one that I could be like, this is my one project I'm pushing this year. Like, I gotta get them all out.
See, I don't know about you, but for me, it always comes in waves. So it's like, if I'm making music, I'm making music every day for weeks. I'm staying up all Brazen knows, man. I used to have a studio in Madison, and we would just wake up 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning, get coffee, hit the stew all day, and we did that shit for like a month and came out with a fucking.
And then you take breaks.
Dope ass project. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, for me, it's like I gotta gas it when I got it, and then because sometimes
I tell people always strike while the iron's hot.
Exactly.
Like, I was telling my girl that last night because I was like, man, I really wanted to go to bed, but I was like, if Doobie finishes this song, I'm gonna get up and go record, because you gotta, while you're in the. I'm always fearful that the creative wave is gonna be away from my grasp at some point. So I'm like, while I have it, I gotta fucking just make as much shit as I can. I'm so like, not fearful, but like, I always have in the back of my mind that like I could die at any day. I could just lose my creativity at some day. Like, it does seem like a gift that is from outside of me. Like, it's not in my mind. I definitely like cultivated it and worked on the skill of rapping and shit like that. But creativity feels like a divine gift to me every time it's placed in my hand.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost, it's just there and you're just channeling it.
Yeah, I'm like, you know. So I just try to like cultivate being a channel, you know, but just honoring it when it comes. Energy break. It's such a powerful sound.
I love listening to things.
Yeah. I'm so drawn to sounds. That's my favorite part about making music is the sonic element, the way my voice flow. Like, I've just gotten into the balance of like enjoying my vocal patterns mixed with saying a lot of stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be like one or the other, or like I'd honor my vocal stretches more than the words I was saying. I feel like I'm like coming into that balance of both. But I just love the way sounds interact.
Let me just say, I really love the super, like, stripped down acoustic shit, like the music to die to and shit, man.
I'm working on music to live to right now.
Because the way you mix your voice with the reverb and it's just very spacious and nice and crisp. It's just so good, bro.
I'll have to play you some of music to live to. I like just started when I made music to die to like 4 years ago, and I always knew in the back of my mind I would make music to live to after that. But it was kind of like I was at a real kind of like dark place in my life at that time when I made music to die to. So I was like, I have to wait for this energy to come about that is music to live to, and I've been like basking in it. It's like halfway done already.
And I will say, I feel like being like about the same age as you, I feel like I have grown as I've watched you grow in a similar way, and I definitely love all the newer music. Like from that album on, I feel like that's just been your best shit,
yeah,
bro.
I feel the same
love
way.
that shit.
It's always bittersweet when somebody's like, dude, this old album of yours, this was your best thing. So I'm like, I mean, it's cool, you know, like art has its own place and it lands different for different people. So I never take it personally, but personally I'm like, dude, my new album is killing.
There's the people that like only listen to new music. There's the people that listen to like kind of a mix of both, like me.
People that get married to one thing but and they don't want to hear any growth.
There's the people that are still playing all the shit from the 2000s. Like,
I'm like, dude, wake up. My new album is like light years deeper and even all the things to me, like all the things you could value about that old music, whether it be my honesty, whether it be my rapping, whether it be my story, like all of that is more potent on my new stuff to me. So, but
so what is like one of your biggest like visions and goals and dreams, you know, with this music shit, or just like what do you want to do for people or the world?
I want to build like I want to transform everybody in my life at such an exponential level that they don't see possible. Because to me, I just view my life and my abilities as like infinitely vast. And so I look to my mom or my nephew or my sister or my friends, and like their scope on what they think is possible is, you know, and no offense, but like it's a lot smaller than what I think. And so I just want to blow everyone's mind with what's possible and do it all through art, because I totally just carved out my whole life in the exact way I wanted it to be, where everyone was trying to tell me to go to school or make this type of thing or do this or don't tat your face and do all this shit. And I just have never listened to any of that. And I've been rewarded so greatly for it. So I just want to, like, you know, I'm focused a lot over the next decade of, like, giving back a lot of value. You know, like, the last 10 years have been really focused on my artistic journey and, like, internally. And I'll always have that going on because just that's the life of an artist, is, like, I express everything that I do through poetry, painting, music, and so I'll always have that going on, but I'm also like outwardly focused on like waking other kids up over the next decade. So I think that's when I'll have my biggest like exponential growth, like financially and shit. I think
that's definitely the Earth mission, you know, is to raise consciousness collectively. Like that's what we're here for. Shit.
In December, me and Anonymous who's like a longtime best friend and producer of mine, artist who views his art the exact same way I do, like just values the process. In December, we're putting on a seminar called the Future of Artists Summit, and it's for a whole generation of kids that want to be artists or are artists. And my whole goal is to like shave 10 years off their career, align them with a better vision, and like make them feel really happy and fulfilled in their mission, as well as be outwardly successful. So like give all the game of everything I've learned over the last 15 years in a 2-day seminar.
That's fire. Yeah. And where is that going to be held?
It's going to be in Orlando at the Caribe Royale Convention
Center. I got to ask you this, right? Because I know you've been doing music for so long and been in studios and working with people. Are you making your own beats and shit now? You fucking with it a little bit?
Some, like, I make a lot of, like, co-producing stuff with Tasty and shit, but I also just love watching my producer friends like bask in their artistry, and
Totally.
I really love the words. Like the words is my absolute
totally.
favorite
feel
part. So I do like enjoy the balance, but I'm also like learning piano right now. Like that was
my next question.
Yeah. I'm trying to learn piano because I just want to have that language at my fingertips, because music is one way to express, but there's such a way of abstract emotion to express with an instrument that I haven't really got, and piano like speaks to me the most. And I just want to like have a kid and just be playing piano for them.
Piece of advice, if I could, on that note, is what helped me with the piano. I play pretty much anything that I can make music with.
Yeah.
But if you just get a piano and have it like one of the real ones, like that, not an electronic one, like a real piano, and just put it in your house, like in your dining room, somewhere where it's just there, and you can just sit down and walk by it, because you're gonna those little 10-15 minutes that you just fucking with it while you're talking to somebody or whatever. It adds up quick, bro, and it's like, wow.
It's like learning a new language.
Yeah.
It's like just giving yourself a whole new palette of ways to express what you're feeling, which I think is dope.
Once you even get a little, like once you learn 1 or 2 keys, you're just
I've already learned like 4, and I just keep playing them over and over again. I'm like C, G, fucking.
And you'll keep expanding from there, and it's fucking beautiful,
adding an instrument to my palette is definitely one, because and I'm just always like fascinated at how my music journey just keeps evolving. Like I totally don't. Like I said earlier, like I feel like a newbie. I feel so brand new in all of this. Like I'll probably be like 60 making like techno jazz beats or something. I don't know. Like
Caskey on the techno jazz.
The potential is infinite.
Yeah, no, that's crazy, bro. I'm excited to. I also want to say, man, bro, the catalog of music videos as well is pretty impressive.
Legit looks. I got legit looks to thank for that.
That's insane.
When I was like first coming up, Legit Looks was like shooting a lot of my first videos, and I had these other managers at the time, and energy break. So powerful. So like Legit Looks really smart, really dope perspective on being an artist, and they're really hard, probably the hardest working people I know in the industry. And they like
Who is Legit Looks?
It's Lisa and Eric. They're a couple, and Lisa does the directing, the coloring, the editing. Eric does the camera work, the DPing, the fucking like all the essential behind the scenes shit. Yeah, they're amazing, and it's really cool because they're a couple that works well together, which is like so rare in the industry.
That's true.
And but they saw who I was as an artist, and Lisa was like, yo, let us manage you. Like, these guys are idiots. Like, let us take it over. And so they, like, started managing me and started shooting all my stuff. And, like, they really introduced me to the, like, work ethic of what it takes to make it in the industry. Like, that's the most powerful lesson I've learned from them, is, like, what it really takes on a work level.
Right.
And they're really creative people and really passionate about what they do, and they're always learning about video. They're always expanding. They're like friggin' in LA right now, killing it. We just shot the Murder for Hire video.
Where do you live?
A couple days ago. I live in LA, but by the time this comes out, well, I'll be on tour still when this comes out, but after tour I'm moving back to Florida. I miss Florida a lot.
Nice.
I love Florida people, bro. They're just so my
It's like
speed.
the craziest shit happens. Like,
so awesome, dude.
Like woman and her triplets got ate by an alligator.
Yeah, I just love Florida. It's such a wild, wild west. Like, and just like the whole culture there is just so cool. Like, I just think people are really like kind and gangster at the same time. Like,
what part of Florida you like? The Gulf side?
Well, I'm
I mean,
from
that's
Orlando,
Central
which is
Florida,
central,
right.
but I like my girl lives on the Gulf side, so I'm partial to that now, but I always like is that the Pacific? I don't know shit about geography.
The Pacific is the east.
That's the Atlantic.
That's the east side of the peninsula.
That's the Atlantic. Wait. East is...
Or no, Atlantic. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, Atlantic is
you're
east.
shitty
My bad. I'm half.
Atlantic, yeah. So I like that side. Daytona Beach.
We got somewhere we eat?
Daytona Beach and New Smyrna. That's my vibe.
You can drive right on Daytona Beach.
I love
That's
Florida,
fucking
man.
nice.
I can't wait to move back. Like, one, I just like I've spent the last 5 years in LA, and like I've just like that culture's not really for me. Like it doesn't really resonate with my spirit. And then also I just love that, like, back home I'm like a big inspiration to those kids out there. So I really want to like just go put my finger on that pulse and like just,
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, I want to like give the inspiration to them. Like I'm about to move back with a Lambo truck in December.
It's cool
Turn
because
them
you
the
don't need to live in those big hubs anymore, and
That's where I'm like at. Is like with my career, like I'm financially and like just momentum wise, I'm at a good enough place that I don't need to live anywhere. LA was good because it got me away from the drug scene that I was in Florida and kind of like the shit that I was caught up with my friends over there, and it got me to like spend a lot of time isolated and like focused on my career. But now that I have that like grounding in that center, I want to bring it back home. Like that's where my family is, that's where my friends are. I'll never value and enjoy this experience as much as like when I'm giving it back to my tribe.
Facts. Me and my tribe are gonna buy 100 fucking acres in Wisconsin, in the Madison, Wisconsin Dells area. When you come back to the studio, AFGM,
Yeah,
I'm taking you to the Dells.
let's go.
I'm serious. It's literally like, it's creepy as fuck when it's not the summer. Like summer is the season.
Cool,
if you
though.
go there when it's not summer, it's literal carnival ghost town. Like it is a movie, bro. It's
So
creepy.
tight.
We can shoot a lot of dope shit over there too.
I like
You like shooting guns?
Yeah, what the fuck?
dude.
I'm from Florida, dude.
Bro,
I'm from Florida,
the
dude.
Dells
That's
is
all we
the
do.
shit, bro. It's a crazy place. It's a destination for sure.
Yeah, I like. I'm trying to come back to that. More in tune with nature, energy. I mean, there's a lot of cool nature in LA. I think it's just like LA's the energy hub of the world, but right now it's like I'm not the most positive in my eyes. Like it's not really utilized in the best way.
I feel that.
Florida's got the energy I like. I just love people out there, dude. They're so like, I don't know. They're like beach rednecks.
All the
dude.
cute
So
little,
cool.
all the
Like,
cute
so
little
sick.
old people are just like,
I love them, dude. I'm trying to be like one of those lobster red old guys that's like just so baked. Like the tan is like in his bones.
your skin's like leather.
Yeah,
and
dude.
shit.
I'm trying to be exactly like that on my motorcycle, on my Harley.
Flip-flops.
No helmet, sandals on my Harley. Fucking, that's me, dude.
I can see it.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I never like super viewed myself like that. And then when I got out of Florida, everybody's like, "Where the fuck are you from, dude?" Like I was like at this show the other day. I'm like got my truck and I'm like getting changed out the bed of my truck, and they're like, "What the fuck? You're a redneck." And
My
I'm like,
mom, she lives in North Naples. She
area.
she lives up here in Milwaukee too, with her boyfriend. They go back and forth. But my mom's like, she's young. Like she's only she's 18 years older than me, but her boyfriend's like 10 years older than her.
Yeah.
But my mom is like broken plates, rods, and screws in her body from car accidents. So she's like an old person.
yeah.
She just be.
Florida's like old people paradise,
Bro,
bro.
I know. I went there and
I
spent
see
some
why,
time with
bro.
her.
It's so good.
Yeah, Florida's like
About to buy
heaven's
my
waiting room.
Yeah, I'm about to. Yeah, I like that. I'm about to buy my mom like a beach house out there. That's all she wants. Like she's so easy to take care of. She just wants to live by the beach, and I don't know. That's like how I'm trying to spend my life.
That's awesome.
Out
bro.
by the beach with my family,
Right.
with my friends, like shooting guns and riding motorcycles and making paintings
Yeah.
and music.
Live a good, simple life, man. Making good music.
All of the
doing
best
shit.
shit in life is so simple. Like people, we make it so fucking complex, and we make it like we need all these other things. But like, man, if you got a handful of relationships that really matter to you and are really deep, you can really be honest with those people.
You're winning.
Bro, you're winning, bro.
Fucking winning.
You're so winning.
If you
bro.
got more than one person that cares about you on a deep level,
and that you care about, you're,
right,
you're winning, bro.
Right.
That's like I'm like really basking in that. And what's crazy is that the more I bask in that, the more I have outward success. And a lot of that is due to the 10 plus years of grind. But like I really do think there's something to be said for like, my favorite quote is, "When a man is right, his world will be right."
Right.
I love that.
And it's just like, bro, if you take care of your body will take care of you, bro. If your cup is full, you can fill up some other cups. You can top some other cups off. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I feel like a overflowing source in my life. Like I don't need anything from anybody. I'm not seeking anything from anybody. I'm just a source to give.
I've really
everyone.
noticed that about you.
Yeah.
How you're very detached from like
Yeah.
anything other than like what you're doing and what you're focused on at that time.
I even like gave away all my clothes before tour. Like I had like probably like $20,000 worth of wardrobe, maybe more honestly, because a couple of those items are a couple grand. But like, over $20K worth of clothes. He's passing you a joint.
Nice.
But like over $20,000 worth of clothes, just like my whole wardrobe. And I was just looking at it like, what the fuck am I doing with any of this? So I just gave it all away to fans before I left on tour,
That's what's up.
just to like simplify my life even more.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm trying to
that's
like.
how you connect with your
I'm
fans
trying
too,
to.
bro.
Also, I feel like the more that the man that can do more with less is the man that will win in life. You know.
Another thing I noticed about you is I feel like you're a very approachable person and you're very down to earth. Like you, like you're gonna win so big, bro. Like you already are, but bro, like the character, bro. Like it's honestly a bonus that like your music's amazing and shit. But like I just looking at your life, I'm just like, look at this guy just doing this thing, bro.
I just really love people, bro.
Me too, bro.
And I've been.
I love you,
Yeah,
dog.
I love you too, bro. And I could tell you just been through a lot. That's like how I am. Is like, dude, my life has been so full of painful things, and so I just always looked out to the world and just seen that like everyone is going through a lot of pain. Like that's what I see when I see people. Is like I don't look at people and be like, fuck this dude, this is fucking right. You know, like I look at everybody like, fuck dude, they're going through a lot of shit. So every person that I meet after the show, you know, you see I stay after the show and try to meet everybody. Like I just see hurt people, you know, and I just want to give them so much love. And like that's kind of just my whole mission in life is like I've always been like that since a kid. Like I'm a real like empath type person, and I see and feel things.
Bro. You have an understanding that you may not understand everything that a person's going through, and you may not understand why a person's doing what they're doing, but you know. What you don't know what you can't see.
Yeah, like Ram Dass says, he started to look at people as trees, you know. And when you look at a tree, you're not like this fucking stupid tree with this broken branch. You just see that like, oh, the sunlight was over here, and that's why it grew this way, or it didn't have all the nutrients, so it grew this way.
Right.
And like that's kind of just how we have to view everybody. Is like everybody is the way they are because of their life experiences, and you take people as they are. And like another thing I try to practice, not to cut you off, is like just to really like take people as they are and not to try to like push my beliefs or push where I'm at or what I think people need. Like I could look at anybody and be like, I feel like you should work on this, or I feel like this is probably what this person needs. But I don't offer any of that up until a person comes to me seeking it. Because in reality, all that people really need from us is just be an ear to listen and a shoulder to lean on.
Yep, and to watch you and be inspired by how you live your life.
Yeah, and then when people come seeking advice, that's when you give it to them, you know, and you give them your honesty and shit like that. And sometimes they're hard truths or they're mean truths or whatever. But like, you know, it's not like spirituality and awakening isn't always just love and light. You know, definitely sometimes it's like a smack in the face, you know.
Definitely.
But, you know, you just take people as they are. And I think most people, more than anything, they just need somebody to see them and accept them. You know, like that's what we all want in life, is just for somebody to see us, fully see us, and say, you're fine
and just
as you
like
are.
try to be like, damn, okay, all right, I understand. Like,
yeah,
just
be
try
like,
to even
and you're
understand.
okay as you are.
Yeah.
You're fine. You know, that's like what therapy is like, you know, you go to a therapist and you fucking tell them all your problems and they say, hey, you're not crazy. You're okay, you know?
No, for real.
Like, that's like what all relationships are for. Because we all kind of feel like we're fucked up, you know, on some level.
I mean, as you get older, I feel like it's very easy to see how life shapes people. If you know a lot about someone, it's pretty easy to see, like, how they start to become. And when you get older and you do shit, you start to think back into your childhood and what, like, damn, I'm just so programmed to.
Well, you get that like
reacting.
self-awareness. When you have self-awareness, you have social awareness. So,
Yes.
you know, you can look at your own, like a part of growing is like being able to eventually look at your life and be like, this is exactly why I am that way. Like I could see exactly why I was an addict, why I had it all these like issues and shit. Energy break. That was my dad coming into. That was my dad swooping over us, just being like, hey, that was my fault, my bad. But it's like, you know, you get older, you can like look at your life and be like, this is exactly why I'm the way I am. And then when you have that self-awareness, it's really easy to look onto the world and to other people and to be like, this is why you are the way you are, and that's okay, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
The whole world shouldn't be as you know, want it to be. That's not how it works. Also, I love the quote that the world isn't as it is, it's as you are.
For real.
Love that.
Because it can be perceived in many ways. It's all about how you shape your own mind.
You could view it as fucked up and destined for failure, or you could view it as growing. I love that. I love the train coming over us. This is great, yeah.
So, you know, we're probably going to be wrapping it up soon, but...
we'll have to do another one of these.
Absolutely,
I like
bro.
this.
Yeah,
We'll do this every couple months. I'll fly out.
No doubt. Yeah, we ready with the studio, bro. Anytime you come to Wisco, bro, you know, you super straight.
You inspire me to get an RV.
I'm glad. I live to do that too.
You will
bro.
see me get a matte black RV in the next 6 months.
Out.
Yeah, and I will be taking my friends on, because I like recording like this, like looking over a mountain or something like that. Like a lot of times, like lately when I'm working on projects or albums, is like, hey, let's go get an Airbnb somewhere crazy. Like my Jaws album that I'm working on, we just went and got a Airbnb in Palm Springs in this beautiful place, and like just brought all the energy there and recorded right in the living room. And like me and Doobie recording in the hotel the other night, looking out at the city. Like I like that. I don't like studios that much.
To be honest, when you're in an RV like this, number one, right, you got a lot of, it's a small enclosed space, and there's a lot of glass around. So when you put lights in it, the light reflects in so many cool ways. Yep. And then if you have it open like this, and you got the scenery, and the lights bouncing around so cool, and you can shut it and just build the light.
This is the coolest part about where modern music is at, is that you can really create anywhere.
Yep.
And I think that draws like a lot better inspiration out of people versus like you go into the studio that's this closed space and it's got the collective energy of all the people that recorded there and their fucking miserable lives and shit. And like, you know, it's like real locked in. Whereas like I like this, you can open up the windows and let the air in and go look at a mountain and shit. I'm definitely getting an RV, bro. I'm like definitely making this happen. This is awesome.
It's honestly been the most fun ever, dude.
Yeah, it's just there's just so much world out there, man, to experience. Like I said this the other day, I'm like, man, no matter how many days you live, you will never get to grasp enough of this. And so it's so important to just take it in and like really live fully as you can. That's what I admire about you since I've met you, is I could tell you're just full of life and you're living your life in this really full way that most people I encounter aren't. You know, most people are living in these confines of like what society has beat them into a mold of. And you know, when I meet people that have broken out of that and you just live by your own rules, that's one of the most admirable qualities.
To be honest, I am living my best life, bro.
So dope.
I'm with a woman who I love. I have beautiful children.
Let's go.
I'm my own boss. I'm living my dream. Like, yeah, I definitely want.
How many kids do you got?
I mean, I have a 9-year-old daughter, and then, so my brother's died, and my older brother has a son. He doesn't live with me. He lives with the great-grandparents. But then my girl, her sister died this year as well.
Oh, that's so sad.
And she left 3 children. So we
all
have
the
2
best
of them.
people in life have been through the most pain.
I feel that, because pain teaches you everything. Like
our pain is our gift.
Our pain is our gift.
Yeah. So true, man.
Get the tattoo somewhere, bro.
I'm about to get it. Yeah, might just get it on my fucking face. I'm
For
working on a book
shit.
right now that's like all about like the death of my dad and my life growing up, and then also how that set me into these wrong paths and how I transcended that and what I've learned from it. And it's called Our Pain Is Our Gift. Definitely putting that on my face, bro.
I'm excited, man. You know, we got a couple tracks I'm gonna be releasing, you know, pretty soon.
You're a great artist, bro. You're a really talented artist, man.
I really appreciate that.
Loved
bro.
all the shit that we played in the car. Like you're tapped in, dude. Excited
we're doing
to
this
see
shit
where
for
you
real.
go. Yep.
You know, the metrics in the numbers and all that shit gonna come, bro. Like,
yep.
I'm doing all right. You know?
We're in like the age where like all the authentic, genuine shit is like breaking through the noise.
I feel that way
For
too.
the last like 10 years, it was lots of noise.
Yes.
And like it was sensationalism, and it was like, what's the youngest, craziest looking kid? What's the most fucking shithead kid? Oh, that's fucking cool. Let's look at that. And like right now, people are so disenchanted by it that like the real genuine art is coming through. I feel like that's why my last project went #1 and shit like that, is because it's just genuine, bro. I didn't worry about it.
I feel like hip hop emerged from the underground, you know, and I truly feel like the essence of it was conscious and it was very aware, self-aware and shit, and then we kind of just went into an artistic and
entertainment,
fun,
yeah, which is cool, you know.
Is,
yeah, things have their ways.
And there's always that underlying stuff, and you got to find it, you got to search for it.
And it's cool when those like waves happen, because really they are birthed out of a need, you know. So if it was all this heavy consciousness stuff, you know, like I'm gonna be real, I don't really like listening to music that I feel like is only consciousness.
Right, no.
I'm like, fucking headache,
well, it's
dude.
got to
like,
be human to me.
Yeah,
Like,
it's got to be honest, and it's got to have a little bit of everything.
It can't be overly.
If you're just trying to like preach like you're fucking Jesus, then I'm annoyed, because I'm like, you're not, you know. So you got to show it both. the duality of the human experience.
Straight up, bro. I'm really thankful you
too,
came,
man.
bro. Like
Me too. It's
you know, this was your idea. You said come
It
to
was
the
yours.
shop.
He showed me the RV thing, but I was like, I want to do that, dude. This is sick, bro. Yeah, I just like you said, I'm in the moment and I value these experiences over anything, dude. This is this is the best part of being an artist.
And honestly, like, bro, like I said, you're top 5 for me. So like, this has just been an honor and a pleasure. And you know, Black Sheep shit for life, bro. I'm with you, bro. I'm jumping on. You know,
Got you a Black Sheep coat hoodie tonight.
No doubt, no doubt. Yeah, so shit, if you want to tell everybody where they can find your music, anybody might not know.
Motherfucker, Google me, Caskey, the fucking craziest looking best rapper in the fucking world that you maybe haven't heard of yet, but you gonna find out. Straight up. Just Google guy with teeth on his face, and then just everything will pop up.
Hell yeah. Well, hell yeah, I'm excited for the show tonight, bro. We about to get it cracking.
Let's get it, bro.
Black Sheep shit, 420 crew, you know the vibe, 608. 608.
Black Sheep RV coming soon, baby.
Yes, sir. Yeah. If you got quality, I bet I got bias. 3 zip seals, cause it's loud like sirens. I'm a real skater and I flip it like Niger. 2K shorty and it's in the fire. I'ma light the gas and hope to better my mood. I remember thinking, will it ever get good? Why you think I went and lived in the woods? Cause I'd rather risk it all on a few big moves, yeah. 3 months on the road with the homies. I ain't been the same since they dosed me. I broke off, had to stand on my own feet. Plus I carry the bros like I'm Yoshi. Them losses I'm out to a